Let me tell you something most people get wrong, my friend. Struggling doesn't mean you're failing. Struggling means that you are on the right path. There was a week where nothing was going great for me. Hell, it was even more than a week. Maybe it was even months at a time. When all of my trades were in the red, I was losing money, my projects were failing, they weren't meeting their deadlines. I pulled my muscle while exercising, so I couldn't do it either. Honestly, it sucked. I felt horrible, and I really had a hard time actually keeping myself motivated to keep going forward. And I'm sure that you can relate to such situations. This isn't a unique experience to me. I'm sure that every single person that has ever lived on this earth has met struggles like this in their daily lives, in their weekly schedules, or just months at a time. And I just kept on thinking to myself that maybe this isn't right for me. Maybe I can't do it and it's just not for me. But that week when I was at my lowest point, it taught me something really important. Be honest with me for a second right now. How many times have you been in that same situation where you thought that I'm not enough, I can't do it, I won't be able to do it because I'm just trying so hard, I'm giving it all of me, right? I'm working endless hours, I'm trying to exercise for a long time, regularly eating right, the weight isn't coming off, I'm putting everything into my work, but the projects aren't just getting along and I'm not achieving the results that I want to, and I'm just this close to giving up because it feels pointless. Because why am I doing all of this and really giving all of myself to this if there's no return? It's such a frustrating feeling and it really demotivates you. And the problem is that we've been taught to think that struggle means failure. It kind of makes logical sense because if you're doing something right, theoretically, it should be working. And if you're struggling, failing, nothing's working right, then maybe you aren't just doing something right, isn't for you, and you aren't cut out to do it in the first place. How many times have you felt like that? I can guarantee that countless times, because for me, this was a struggle that I had a really hard time getting over with. But for the people that are successful and that win, the struggle was the fee for them to actually get to their victory point. Let's say in order to get to your whatever goal, you have to get to the 100th floor of the skyscraper. But you can't use an elevator. That would be cheating, and usually people do not have that luxury most of the time. So try to visualize it like this. Your end goal is at the top of the skyscraper, and the only way to get to it is to walk the stairs all the way to the 100th floor. That's the struggle. But in order to get to the top of the skyscraper, you have no other options. You are gonna have to struggle, and that's what makes the winners. That's what differentiates the winners from losers. The winners were able to force themselves to stay motivated and keep stepping step after step until they reached the end of the skyscraper. Meanwhile, most of the people, they just gave up middle of the way. Maybe somebody gave up on the 10th floor, somebody on the 20th, somebody gave up on the 99th floor because they thought that they've been struggling for so long and they just couldn't keep themselves going because it felt pointless, that it wasn't from there for them, and that they wouldn't be able to actually achieve anything. But the winners were the ones that took that one extra step, that one last step that brought them over the edge, well, not over the edge, but brought them to the top of the stairs, to the skyscraper, to their goal. The thing is that growth only happens once you're outside of your struggling zone. It's always going to be uncomfortable, and comfort doesn't lead to any progress. Comfort leads to stagnation. You get used to your comfortable life. Let's say you're just laying in bed, your mom's coming to bring you sandwiches, you don't have to do anything, you just can rot all day. All you have to do is just eat, go to the toilet, watch your phone, or play video games, right? Life is great, you're comfortable. But what's the end goal? You're literally never gonna get anywhere. Uncomfortable situations are those that actually lead to any character growth. So the thing is that it's always gonna be uncomfortable when you are doing the right thing and actually chasing growth. The thing is that there was a saying that I really took to heart, that the moment when you're the most scared to make that last jump, that is the exact moment you should just turn off your brain and make that jump, because that single jump could change your entire life. That single risk you take could be the thing that leads to success. But it's gonna be uncomfortable. You're not gonna like it. You are gonna be scared, I can guarantee you that. But if you are able to make that last jump, even if you're super uncomfortable, that is gonna lead to massive changes, positive changes. That is gonna lead to character growth, and you will come out on the other end as a better, more successful person. And you're just gonna be, in the future, you're gonna be looking back at it and thinking, oh, that was so silly. Why didn't I just do it earlier? Why didn't I do it quicker? I should have forced myself to do it, but I just waited so long. I procrastinated. I could have gotten there quicker if I had gotten more comfortable being uncomfortable. That's something I want you to keep in mind. Going back to my story, where everything was going really badly for the whole week. As I said, my trades were red, my body hurt, I couldn't get myself to eat right, my work was failing, I wasn't meeting my deadlines, and I thought I was trying so hard, but it felt like I was just standing in one place. I wasn't getting anywhere. It's like I was spinning my wheels, like I have no tire for it, right? It felt completely pointless. But then it really hit me that each one of those failures are setting me up to a greater success in the future. If I cannot get through these failures and keep myself going and keep being motivated against all odds, I would have never gotten to any of the success I have right now. Those failures, those feelings of unmotivation, of not feeling like you're good enough, those were my character growth. Those made me a stronger, more resilient person. And if I hadn't gone through that, I would never become the person that I am today. Struggle isn't a wall. It's a doorway, but the door is pretty heavy and most people are never able to push through that door, and behind that door is success. Behind that door are the things you want to achieve and the things you want to get done. But it's a pretty heavy metal door. You're gonna have to really buck into it to actually get through it, and most people just aren't ready to do it. They try, they struggle a bit, they try to open it, they try to push it, right, but it's not going anywhere and they just give up because they think it's locked, it's not gonna get anywhere, right? The most resilient ones are gonna keep pushing, they're gonna get stronger, they will do push-ups, right, pull-ups, bicep curls, right, and they're gonna burst through that door and emerge victorious. That's what really separates successful people from people that end up failing. So that's something that you should really keep in mind, that struggle is the only way that you're gonna get to your goals. So let me ask you a quick question. What are you struggling with right now? Just think about that for a second. Really visualize it. What is the thing that is bringing you down right now and you just don't have enough strength to push through it? Think about it for a second. What if, instead of completely running from it, just thinking that you're not enough, just visualize that struggle once again for me, please, and think about it. What if you change your mindset about it? What if, instead of looking at it as a struggle, you look at it as a way of character building, of gaining strength and learning from it to actually get through that struggle? And I can guarantee that once you visualize this differently, like I just told you so, it will no longer feel like a struggle. It will feel like a challenge that you have to defeat. And if you're successful, you're going to emerge victorious. Think of it as exercise. It's always hard. Making the first run, going outside and running for the first time, you're going to be extremely winded. Your legs are going to hurt. Maybe you'll get cramps in your legs. But the struggle is what makes you stronger. And each run that you do after that first run is going to get easier because you got through that struggle. Get through the next struggle, it's going to get even easier every single time. The struggle is what builds your strength. And in the end, you're going to be able to run a marathon perhaps, but you would have never gotten to that point of being able to run a marathon unless you would have went through those first struggles. It's also like lifting weights. If you know how human physiology works, your body adapts to new challenges. If you just go and let's say you're feeling pretty comfortable curling 10-pound weights. It goes easily. You can do like 15 reps, 20 reps, whatever, and you don't even break a sweat. You know what's gonna happen if you just keep going and doing those 15 reps without any struggle with the 10 pounds? Nothing. You're just gonna stay in place because there's no stimulus for your body to adapt and actually grow so you can lift heavier weights. Instead of doing the 10-pound curls, which you feel comfortable with, go up to 15 pounds. And guess what? You're gonna struggle. It's gonna be hard, but that's the exact point. You're gonna force your body to adapt as long as you can get through that challenge. And if you keep going, next up, it's not going to be the 10 pounds that are super easy. It's going to be 15 pounds that'll be just as easy as the 10 pounds was. So you're going to go up, make it even more challenging, challenge yourself even more so you can build resilience, strength, and adapt to the new challenges. So just try to think about that. And those are just two of the examples that I gave you. There are millions more. But if you want a cheat sheet, go to my Telegram, link is in the description, where I've put a struggle map. 4 steps that you can take to fuel feelings of failure and not being good enough into actual motivation and resilience and dedication to push through it. So if you'd like to check out that list to make it easier for yourself, go ahead and check out our Telegram, linked in the description. And just to sum the whole video up, struggle isn't a detour, it's a path. And if you walk that path long enough, you're gonna be winning.